Hey everyone, Walter K here, and as you may notice, I'm sort of in a different reality this time around. Now, I would maintain this form, but doing so in the real world causes me agonizing pain, and as such, unfortunately, I'm going to have to transform into a far less appealing form now. My camera is refusing to focus on my face. Is it not recognizing me because are my glasses fucking it up? Oh my god. Hi, it's me in the real physical manifestation. There's a reason why I'm doing this live, and before you get too concerned, this is not going to become a standard practice. For the deep dives, I will continue using the coveted little dude form. But I figured, since this is a video where I have to admit to a pretty significant mistake I've made, I might as well do it with my real face on display. Is how I would say it if I had to give a sort of reasonable explanation for why I'm doing it live. The actual reason being that editing the little dude videos is a ton of fucking effort actually, and then I can't be fucked doing it for this video, so it's just me instead. I'm not going to go into exactly how and why I fucked up right off the bat. Instead, I'm going to give a little bit of insight to the people who are unaware of the mistake I made in the quaffinated video. The fucking camera's up. Okay. I will beat the shit out of this video camera. God. I have made a severe lapse in my judgment, and for that, I apologize. I'm referring, of course, to saying that people were telling Sean to eat a sandwich. I meant to say burger. Like, I could have recorded that again. I didn't. So that mistake stayed in the video, unfortunately. Also, Sean's in jail, and has been for quite a while, since the start of the year, pretty much. So that's the minor detail that I got, you know, that didn't really mention. Let's just start with exactly what happened. You see, back in 2020, as you may recall, there was this whole pandemic thing going on. I don't know if you remember that. There's like a, what was it? The China flu, I think they called it officially. And what was going on was people were getting these things called PPP loans. Basically, money the government was giving to people so that they could pay their employees, right? And as sometimes tends to be the case with the government just giving money to a lot of people without a lot of investigation beforehand, that system got slightly abused by some people. Sean was one of those people. In 2020, Sean took part in a fraudulent scheme, essentially helping one of his friends, Rudy Levantour, get a bit of money from the government by pretending to, by exaggerating the number of employees working for Rudy in the businesses that he owned. The amount of money he managed to get out of the government and into Rudy's bank account was a little over, let me see here, a little over $4 million, which is a bit, and for what it's worth, out of that money, Sean only got a little bit over $100,000. That wasn't all of it, though, because Sean also, of course, is the CEO and head of several different companies. Specifically, I believe it would be 2 companies listed on his LinkedIn, which is Self-Made Entrepreneurs and SME Lifestyle. And he himself then got about $1.3 million or something along those lines. And that's probably where the money came from for making videos like Degenerates, and since this was already in 2020, probably also Hunted or Better, and maybe Trap God. I'm not really sure on that. I think Trap God was in the works for quite a while longer than that, but Hunted or Better might have been it. I'm not, again, 100% not sure, because the video quality on Hunted or Better isn't quite up to snuff compared to Degenerates. The production on Degenerates is clearly more costly, and it has fucking JoJo Simmons in it. Which I also looked into. There doesn't seem to be a connection to JoJo Simmons in this whole thing. I did find out that JoJo Simmons did have run-ins with the law before, but nothing that significant, I guess. Sean was sentenced in February, I believe it was the 22nd of February, so just a little while before I started doing my research for the first video, for Lusik's video specifically, although I did also later send an email to Sean, who was already in fucking jail. I sent that email, I believe sometime in March or May. We'll have to check later, but yeah, he was sentenced to 30 months in jail, and for what it's worth, that's not too bad, because he was looking at an amount of time up to 30 years or more, and Rudy got sentenced to 60 months. Mostly lower due to them being cooperative, giving back the money and properties purchased with that money, including his including Sean's Mercedes-Benz, and pleading guilty. They both pled guilty, and so the sentence was significantly lowered. Sure, I fucked up, so there's some bad news there, but hey, good news. That means that he's only, let's see, 30 months, starting with February, 2 years, that's 2024 plus 6 months. I believe that would be in August or September, that I can try again and try contacting, and I could interview him then, and talk about his life in prison. Yay! Also good news, there's absolutely nobody left that can file a copyright claim on using his music. So, and I guess I have like free reign for like 2 years now if I really want to make Degenerates the credits song to my videos. If I really feel like doing that, I can do it. So, and now on to how I fucked this up. I'm gonna start out by saying this is not in any way an excuse, because ultimately it is just a cock-up on my part. I should have found out this information because I was doing a deep dive on the guy. But I will say this, I basically focused on social media a little bit too much here, because those were sort of like how Idubbbz pointed out, that's what he put on his Kickstarter page. He linked his Instagram, Facebook, Hulkshare, and YouTube. So my main focus was on those 4, and now I could have expanded more on those, but I guess I got distracted by the fact that his Instagram and his Facebook were wiped off the map. So for example, when I was looking up Lusik, I wasn't sure where exactly I needed to look, so I found his real name on Kickstarter, and I looked that up on Google, and the first result was his criminal record, and that's how I got to his Truth Finder page, which I paid for at the time. I also tried to look up things like his Facebook and Twitter and so on and so forth, and the Facebook didn't come up because it was, you know, gone. But, you know, none of it really gave enough context, so I kept digging deeper and deeper, although, again, a good portion of the Lusig documentary really was down to the videos kept up by the person behind the Lusig archives. You know, that sort of made the Lusig video, in my opinion, really solid, because I had a lot to go off of, and there was somebody already doing the basis of that work for me at the very beginning. When it came to just Sean's video here, I would look up his name on Google again, but I would focus on social media. I would look up Sean Andre Facebook. I would look up self-made entrepreneurs. Sean Andre Twitter, Sean Andre Instagram, Sean Andre YouTube, all of that. Those are the things I would look up. And with his company, I would look up self-made entrepreneurs and see what there was. There was a Facebook page, there was his LinkedIn. But if I looked up just self-made entrepreneurs, I wouldn't find that case of fraud. However, if I looked up Sean Andre, which I did again after I saw that comment, it was slightly down the first page, but it was still on the first page. So in hindsight, if I had sort of gone a bit deeper than just looking for specifically his social media accounts, then I would have run into this information. If you look up specifically Sean Andre PPE loan, Sean Andre fraud, Sean Andre jail, Sean Andre any of those terms related to the case, again, then these are the top results. So, my bad. That said, I do feel the need to say that the message of that video doesn't really change all that much. I will say that it changes the optics, and it makes it far less convincing. That is just absolutely the case, and I can't fault anyone for pointing that out. However, I will say that it isn't just Sean who experienced all that continued harassment for years and years, because of course Pisces still gets it whenever people find his YouTube channel. That is why I never shared what his new channel is on my video. It's why, like I said, it's why Dayron blocked me on Twitter, because, again, he probably receives a ton of harassment, and I can have confirmation for just how much these people get on a daily basis, because, and I'm sorry, Gator, for leaking our DMs a little bit here, but Gator did say that the reason he didn't respond to my DMs on Twitter when I was working on his video was that they sort of got lost in all of the other shit that he gets sent all the time. And so it's totally understandable. And I think it's still worth noting and still worth talking about how it's fucked up that these people still get this sort of harassment. Because on a certain level, the topic of how Sean stole all that fucking money and how he's clearly not that great of a person after all, those are valid arguments. Those are reasons, those are things to bring up. Those are such good points. The points of hypocrisy, the points of how his content, sure, it had gradual improvement, but it really only saw that big improvements and big jump in quality after he had the money to spend on making it. And the only reason he had that money to spend was because he stole it. Those are very valid things to talk about, and yet, if you go into the comments on those videos, they don't get brought up. They don't. Instead, you do get go eat a burger, decaffeinated African, and, you know, dotty bitches. That's all you see in those comments. So, to that extent, I don't think the message of my video changes. But, unfortunately, the messaging of Sean's own music and videos is completely fucked by that entire thing. For a start, self-made entrepreneurs, this isn't self-made, this is stolen fucking money. You know, the video, degenerates. The point of the video is clapping back against comments made against the African American community. It's a good message to have. That's, you know, they're not degenerates, they can amount to things, they can make their own destiny sort of happen and all that. And then all of that is still true, all of that is still valid, all of that is still important. This whole thing fucks that message up irreversibly, though. Degenerates completely loses that message by knowledge that the content was made with stolen money. By knowledge that, by all accounts, Sean is a fucking degenerate. More so than Lusik, I guess. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, I suppose you've earned a little bit of something. Now, as some of you may know, I only seen like a couple of people subscribe, which makes sense because it has nothing on it yet, but I do have a second channel. And that channel hasn't seen any content yet. And I'm recording this video currently on Sunday. But I'm not going to be releasing it just yet. As you can probably tell if you look at this video and when it was released. And the reason for that is that I plan on, in a couple of days, recording something that is going to come out alongside this video and go on to my second channel. I'm going to be drinking pilk. And worse. I don't even know how it goes yet. Maybe neither of these videos are going to come out because I'll be fucking dead. But if I'm not dead, then if you click here... Wait, no. Does YouTube allow annotations anymore? I don't fucking know. In order to know that, I would need to give a shit about YouTube as a platform, and I don't. But if not there, then down in the comments, and in a separate post I'm going to make on the community tab, you will find a link to the video in question. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing and commenting and liking and also disliking. A special shout out to this guy over here who really got me good with this comment. My videos are literally not monetized. I can't do that unless I hit 1,000 subscribers. I don't know. I don't know why you're patting yourself on the back for this one, but I'm gonna